If you remember about a month ago, we broke the story about how Arc Press was formed by Peter Thiel's investment group as this like science fiction and fantasy new publisher. Very weird just by itself. And the backstory behind that is allegedly Peter Thiel and his investment group went to Baen Books, attempted to buy them. They declined the offer, and so they just poached their biggest author, poached 3 of their editors, and just started their own. And they have a lot of seed investment money. And the face of this company is run by this guy, DJ Butler, who you can see right here in this picture. He's a Baen author who doesn't sell very well, doesn't have a particular amount of big clout in the industry. It's a really weird choice on this level. And he's been out there acting very, very strange since we broke this story as well. And so I'll cover this today as a bunch of new information came out kind of about the group behind this and where they're at. And there's this huge publishing conglomerate kind of building behind the scenes from Peter Thiel. It's a big just change in the landscape for publishing. And this is your real fantasy news, my friends. So please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in the culture here. My name is John Delarose. I am not only the most trusted name in science fiction and fantasy news, but on top of this, I am an author, and I have a great new fantasy book coming out tomorrow. You won't want to miss this. It's called The Demon's Eye. It is classic sword and sorcery. It is something that feels like a book written in the 1930s, 40s, or 50s before things kind of got bloated in fantasy. It's a standalone book, so you can just read it and finish it. There's going to be no waiting on a George R.R. Martin series that never finishes for you guys. Very enjoyable stuff. So I wrote this with Dungeons & Dragons fans in mind, with old Conan fans in mind, and so please check this out. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for checking it out and supporting our work. We've had a great pre-orders session so far. And like I said, comes out tomorrow. Let's grab those numbers up, make this a huge success upon launch. I appreciate you guys for reading. So Arc Press has a bunch going on already. They did this video, and you can see the thumbnail for the video where DJ Butler here put on this weird used car salesman-looking suit and then said, you could win $10,000. Like it's some weird writing contest. And it's interesting on that level because it's just a way for a press to drum up submissions. And to me, it's like, why would a press want to drum up submissions? They don't really need a lot of random submissions out there. If you want to make money as a press these days, getting some random author who has no following, not really a way to do it. But maybe it just gets them a little bit of attention. I don't know. But this $10,000 is about the normal advance that you get as an established author. So if you were going to traditional publishing, that's about the amount that they'd pay out anyway. So it's basically a submissions window. They call it the ultimate writing contest as a branding sort of thing. But it's really just everybody submitting, and they just have one publishing slot there and the like. Interesting stuff on this level. So they've come out the gate with this, made a little bit of waves, and it's been a strange few weeks. So ever since I came out with my reporting on this, Butler got just hostile towards me. I don't know what happened. The guy seemed pretty nice before, and he went out on some book reviewer's channel and said he wanted to address the situation out there. And it's interesting. I noticed he was kind of cagey about the way that he did it. He cast aspersions on my reporting, but at the same time, he didn't say anything I said actually was wrong. And so it was a very weird sort of interview where he was trying to get people to dislike me personally with kind of like half-truths that he was saying rather than actually reporting on what I said. Now, what I said and what's happening in the industry is a huge shakeup, like I've been mentioning at the beginning of this video. Baen Books has been one of the larger science fiction and fantasy publishers out there. They are the one that is considered right of center. I know they're apolitical or whatever, but they have the if you are apolitical, you are right of center at this point because everybody in publishing is a leftist who doesn't do that, right? And so Baen Books is a place where a bunch of right-wing authors actually exist within science fiction and fantasy and get published and actually get into bookstores. And they're about it. I mean, you'll be blacklisted from any other place if you're an open Christian conservative. It's just how it goes. And so Baen is really the only spot that's there. Well, Baen's been running into some struggles in recent years. They've had some layoffs going on at the end of 2023 where they got rid of their publicist and they got rid of their longtime editor. And so it's just weird shakeups were starting to happen at that point. They also had Christopher Ruocchio's Sun Eater book under contract, and they gave that back to DAW Books. Now, Christopher Ruocchio is a huge talent, going to make a ton of money over the next several years. I don't know why you would give that back unless there's problems going on, right? And so it seems like there were problems. Now, the writing's been on the wall, obviously. And it got weird because Larry Correia was announced as an author that's going to be going to Arc Press. Now, Larry Correia is Baen Books' biggest author, and Larry Correia is known for his Monster Hunter International urban fantasy. Because of this, Arc Press said they're doing an urban fantasy series. So it's like, wait a minute, they're doing his biggest genre, and they're taking him as part of his deal. Well, they came out and made all these statements saying, oh, they're not poaching him. I'm still with Baen Books, etc. Yeah, but you had most of your output there, maybe even 100% of it. Now you're going to have 50% of your output there? That hurts the company, obviously. It's a business thing. It's not a personal thing. Nobody. I'm just reporting the news. But clearly, within their little circles within this little whisper network of publishing, they really wanted to present that this was some kind of united front, and it didn't make any sense because why are you starting a competitor business and pretending you're united with another business you're competing with? It's just nonsensical. But they are pretending that, and it got weirder again. So Baen Books also lost 3 of their editors to Arc Press. DJ Butler's one of them. The other 2 are David Afshararad, I think his name is pronounced, and the other one is Tony Daniel, and they were big editors at Baen. Now, Tony Daniel had already left for Regency, and then left Regency again for Arc Press with an author who was also at Regency and is now at Passage Press, who is also a subsidiary of this group that owns Arc Press. It's very insular, right? And so Baen was short editors. They've lost a bunch of their output from their main guy. And, of course, they were doing layoffs. There's clearly business problems going on that are not going very well there. On top of this, they don't really have any new young talent that's making a lot of money for the company. There's not much going on with that front. And so it seems like they're in for some dismal years coming up, especially as most of their other talent, who's very popular, is getting very, very old at this juncture. It's just a matter of the fact. People age is what it is. And so, interesting story from that perspective. Now, if Peter Thiel did try to buy Baen Books, it begs the question, why didn't they sell it? And so Butler actually went on after all of this. So he went on that weird thing, casting aspersions on my reporting here. Then he went on this podcast here where there were 20 people watching. And they tried very, very hard to filibuster during this podcast. This podcast... they really didn't even start for an hour into it. And then you could see here's Tony Weiskopf from Baen Books and DJ Butler and the host. And they just wouldn't talk about anything substantive. They spent 15 minutes talking about George R.R. Martin, of all people. And DJ Butler stepped on Tony Weiskopf. It was like he was trying to cover for her, he didn't want her to actually speak or anything. And he addressed the situation finally after I asked a lot of questions. He got really, really mad. And started swearing about the situation, and I'm like, whoa, why is he trying so hard to hide this? And I still don't know this to this day. He's obviously trying to hide the connections here, tried to hide what's going on, and he's angry about it. Again, if everything was good with Baen Books and everything was just fine with the industry, why would these people be angry? It wouldn't be a big deal. Just answer the question. It's Peter Thiel running this company. What's happening? And so he made this. He did the same thing he did on the other podcast, which was he twisted what was going on, and he was saying if Peter Thiel, to imply that he doesn't have the money to buy Baen Books doesn't make any sense. Nobody ever implied that, but he tried to twist it to that level to make it seem like the reporting was off on it, and then he said, "I've never spoken with Peter Thiel." But it's these are and he's a lawyer by trade, so he's doing this intentionally to obfuscate, try to tell half-truths, and I don't know why, again. It doesn't make any sense to me, but we've confirmed that Peter Thiel's investment group does own Arc Press, so it's silly. Butler has actually admitted it to me, and it's on Fandom Pulse. He actually has a quote saying he is part of the investment group that owns Passage Press as well, which is that group. And so why would he go out of his way to try to cast aspersions on this, pretend it's not happening live, And then he coyly says, yeah, we're very fortunate to have investors. Yeah, with deep pockets at that. It's the only reason this press is interesting. If you were just starting a press as DJ Butler, some author who sells like 100 or 200 copies of your books, that's all he sells. Like, it's not interesting. The only reason I'd cover DJ Butler is like as a favor to him, because he just is completely irrelevant. But the fact that Peter Thiel's investment group is involved in this and they tried to Baen books, that's what makes it interesting. And Larry Correia's involvement also makes it interesting because he's a big name in science fiction and fantasy. Now, Tony was barely able to speak during this entire thing. Like I said, Butler talked over her the entire time. It was an odd situation, and they were very, very uncomfortable, you could tell. But again, why are they going on a live stream together as like direct competitors doing this to begin with? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm still trying to piece together like why they're so agitated about all this, and why they're trying to hide the fact that this is a giant competitor starting who is taking a large portion of Baen's business and some of Baen's talent. It's weird. So weird stuff on this level. So, of course, after this, he announces his cash prize. And here's what we drummed up on the situation. So Arc Press is actually, once they came out with this, they actually published their address on the cash prize situation. I think maybe they legally have to. And we found out that they're owned by Foundation Publishing Group, LLC. This LLC owns the trademark for Passage Press also, just like I always confirmed. And they also own some other presses as well. The CEO is listed as like a Los Angeles sort of artsy guy named Daniel Lisi. And so he owns a bunch of, he's a CEO of a couple of other presses as well. And so this is where Peter Thiel's investment group is investing in this Foundation Publishing LLC, and they're clearly acquiring a bunch. And there's a reason for this. If you look at Daniel Lisi and what he says quite a bit, he talks about the big five publishing. Now, that's the big publishing houses and all that. Clearly, Thiel is trying to develop a bunch of small press networks that are together to be a big press, like to compete with the big five publishing as a right-wing sort of thing. Very interesting, again, on that level, because those acquisitions together are building up from a small press to a big press. And his other one that he owns is called Chapter House Publishing, which has two different presses in it also as well. Now, Jonathan Keeperman's involved with Passage Press, and he's kind of the face of that one. He's been going on the Charlie Kirk show. He's been on with Steve Bannon lately. He's getting lots of big conservative press contacts on this level. And so this is building into something that's kind of a monolith. It's just odd that DJ Butler is the head of the other face of this when it's kind of just a thing. And it's just a strange situation. So this all confirms exactly what we said to begin with, that Peter Thiel invested. He's obviously spending lots of money right up front to build this right off the bat. Now, we've had Reddit confirm that like it was very tense at a writing conference, and Baen does not seem to have a lot of energy going on as well. It just seems like they are really struggling, which is what I was saying. I've talked to some authors who are not allowed to talk to me. Baen Books has a policy not to talk to me, which is ridiculous. And so those authors have told me that there's late royalty payments involved. There's problems going on there. Really scary stuff, which is interesting and of interest to the business of the industry. And so Arc Press could be primed to just take over that because as they start to fade, which is really interesting as well. Now, throughout all of this, DJ Butler decided to ban me from his Discord because I was talking about Passage Press, and he panicked about it. He started casting aspersions about me again, and then did so on X as well. Had Arc Press block me on X, and it's like, I'm the only person who's going to cover this, like who has any sort of following whatsoever. So what's going on here? So this does appear to be some sort of like political shakeup where these guys, I don't know what's happening. I can't even think of the reasoning behind any of this. It makes no sense. But this guy's really a problem already out the gate for Arc Press. I mean, if you're starting going out there swearing at reporters about what you've got going on with your company before you even get off the ground, never a good sign. And sure enough, everything we said was completely validated and confirmed once the information about these LLCs and the like came out. They're all tied in together, and there's a big web showing up here. So how will this shake up in the future? Don't know yet. Obviously, the big interest here is that Larry Correia has a series contracted, and that's exactly what we're doing. And we will cover it as it goes along, and interesting stuff. What do you guys make of this? Why do you think Arc Press is so hostile, so scared of having this information come out? What's going on there? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your theories. Thank you for being here. For the real fantasy news, my friends, hit the like and subscribe button. And make sure to check out my new book, The Demon's Eye. It comes out tomorrow. Grab this today, guys. You won't be disappointed. This is a lot of fun. Very quick read that you can enjoy really good this week. And we'll be back soon.